Indy Mogul.
Hey, Zack Finfrock here with the Backyard Effects crew. Today we're not doing a normal Your Effects episode like we usually do. It's going to be a reply to your comments type episode. We've got Vince Talenti, who does the filming and editing. We've got Tybee Diskin, who is acting and just general talent. Kevin Brooks, another actor and talent. And Aaron Giles, more talent.
And Dan
Martinez is back there. He's doing the sound. Julian's filming
Julian's filming it.
All right. We've got a couple pages of comments here. Some of our favorites. And they're in no particular order. And we're going to answer them. So we'll start off with Dr. Payne44. What exactly happened to Eric Beck? He is still very much a part of Backyard Effects. We talk to him all the time. He's the one who uploads all the videos. I mean, we have to send him everything. He's the executive producer still on the show. And he is pretty much the, what would you say, the guiding...
The guiding light.
He's the guiding light of Backyard Effects, still very much so.
He's a boss.
He is our boss.
And ball.
ZX20XZ, or Zix20KZ, asks, could you make a level 10 build? I don't know how soon, but at some point in our Backyard Effects career, we will have a level 10 build. Jail37 asks, could you make longer test videos? Yes, we usually make short ones, but then sometimes, like the musical, they're longer. They're like
about 7
minutes long. Thin Air, if you look at it as a full short instead of a two-parter, that was almost 9 minutes long, right?
He's absolutely right.
So sometimes we do long ones, and sometimes we do short ones. We're gonna kind of go back and forth. Ice and Dice asks, where can I find nose wax and liquid latex?
Wait, you're leaving off the rest of it.
Please reply me ASAP! Exclamation point.
Yes.
I'm sure there are a lot of costume shops or just liquid latex suppliers in general who will sell you things online.
Google stage makeup. You can go to the Ben Nye website or the Mehron, MEHRON website.
We'll have some links below the video. Crappy Film Production asks, say, where do you get the music and stuff for the videos? Well, we get most of our music from our composer, Dan Martinez.
Dan!
He does most of the music. If it's not him, it's usually just royalty-free music you can find online. If you want to listen to Dan's stuff, you can go to www.danmartinezmusic.com. Hey Dan, how long have you been composing?
Long time.
How long have you been firing guns?
I have never fired a gun before.
Mr. Blister Pop, in all caps, can you make thing out of wood and metal instead of plastic and paper? Yes, and I have. The slider was made with both wood and plastic. And there was some metal screws in there. So I did make some things out of metal.
Does it really count though?
And don't yell at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
No need to yell.
Kevin's very sensitive.
I prefer using plastic and paper because it's a lot cheaper. And that's my opinion of what Backyard Effects is all about. Cheap builds that look great on camera. Of course, you can incorporate your own techniques with wood and metal to do whatever you feel you need to make things out of wood and metal. And bronze. Mindstorm Master asks, next day test films again? I know at one point Eric mentioned that he wanted to start doing test films during the episodes, and then once we took over, we started doing them again on Tuesday. For me and for us, we like doing them on a separate day, because then if you like it and you want to show it off, it's a lot easier than having to tell someone to go to a certain point during an episode, where you can just send them a single video where it's just the test film by itself.
And it gives it just more flexibility. You're not making like 2-minute test films to fit in a 7 or 10 minute build episode. You can have more freedom.
That's true.
That is correct. Spiro X, nice example of how simple effects and a little sound effect can produce a believable superpower. I guess this is for Thin Air, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Julian did all the sound design from the ground up for Thin Air. So not a single sound that we recorded with a mic or with the camera was used in the test film. It's all made up or recorded later.
What if you make like a war scene inside of this house? Like, what would it be sound design like?
It would be sound design like this. Stop it! See? It's all in the sound design. But if you wanted to make us like an earthquake, it's just a rumbling noise like this. What?
Why do I get two pictures?
It's all sound design.
You good?
You do sound design correctly, and it puts your test film to here, from here to there.
a horse.
Copy Kid of the Stars asks, doesn't it seem like the only thing Zack has to work with is a hot glue gun, razor pens, and a sand tool? The reason I use those tools is because it makes me think of how I'm going to do every prop and every build inexpensively. That means I have to deal with things like paper and plastic that work really effectively with said tools. For now. James Face says, the test film looks great. Was the puppeteer actually walking down the hall during the "you must accept your death" shot? Was the droid shot in front of a green screen? How was it done? Needless to say, I'm impressed, and I can't wait to see more Zack. Thanks, James Face. That was actually from our audition video, with Love Not Included as our test film. For the puppeteering for that, it was just me with the droid on a pole. I ran down the hallway, and then we had our effects friend Aaron Moorhead cut me out, and that's how we did it. HD Voyager fan asks, okay, how did you get the face at 159? That's for the Project Human test film. That was actually a mask that Julian owns, and I believe Aaron was just wearing the mask. They just filmed a really weird shot with him.
I actually killed myself.
Special FX Kid asks, you should do a little tip video on throwing things around, i.e. the chairs flying from the explosion. And that's from the Invasion video. All I had was Julian and Dan throw and kick chairs at me when I ran past them. And then we had Aaron Moorhead do the effects again, and he just put the explosion on top of them. In the beginning of the short, when the first explosion goes off, we've got things falling from a cabinet. All we had was Julian pull a fishing line string that was connected to one of the boxes, and it made everything fall. If you look really carefully, you can actually see the fishing line itself at one point, but that is just a blooper. If you ever do an effect digitally, try to add a practical effect with it, because it really adds to the scene. I read the comments, and I've only read this maybe 3 times, maybe 4. But a lot of people keep asking for the Assassin's Creed Hidden Blade.
I haven't read that on there.
I've never
You have
seen
not read
Never
it?
seen that. That's
Where's
a
that
wrap.
question?
I can say we will be making it. I will make one. When the episode will be out, I cannot say. But I will tell you it is going to be before the end of the year. So you guys can look forward to that. Well, that's it for the list of questions that we have. Do you guys have anything you want to talk about?
The blood is right here on my arm, in thin air on my right arm. Q&A stands for question and answer. Yes, Kevin and I are really singing, and no, I don't stuff my bra.
No.
Dallas.
There is one thing, when you're doing fight scenes, any kind of stage fighting, it's camera angles is what makes it look realistic. We're probably gonna do an episode on that at some point though, so.
There's already one, too. Thanks, Eric.
Oh yeah, and Dynamite again. There's the cars in the background that are actually steampunk past cars.
Yeah, we did that on purpose. And
Outro, Zack.
outro.
Okay, bye!
Leave a comment. You gotta leave some comments.
Leave a comment.
No, you gotta
Comments.
Put your comments
Yeah,
down there.
right down-
That's
You could
what I got.
put your
You gotta
comment.
comments
You
right.
can't put them anywhere
my
but below
comment.
the video. And yes, we do know the mic is in the shot. The China bowl is reflecting in the light. You can see Julian in the reflection. The shadows are on the wall over
Andrew's
here.
in the shot.
Andrew over here, our buddy, who we didn't mention, is here.
And
It's
Giles
birthday.
isn't really
Happy
here.
birthday. If you want to leave a comment, click right here.